So, Africa has become a battlefield that everybody wants to be part of. So far, China have been playing on this battlefield for so long by themselves. Nobody have actually been able to challenge the country of China on this battlefield, except for now. Now Japan is trying to challenge China on this hypothetical battlefield that is in Africa. Forget the South China Sea. The real battlefield is Africa. Two Asian giants are facing for Africa's money. China have become the builder, and Japan, on the other hand, have become the partner. There's the twist to this, though. There's a huge twist, right? You see, it's not about the money. The money is not what's driving these people. It's about who get to shape Africa's future, who get to shape where those minerals go and how they go. That's what it's all about.
And Africa is a resource-rich continent. Though the US is drifting away and former colonial rulers like France are losing grip, many foreign players are pushing to seize the opportunity and deepen ties with the continent. And one of them is Japan. The East Asian country is enhancing its influence in Africa by initiating several economic and environmental projects. In its latest move, the Japanese government has announced plans to raise $1.5 billion for impact investment in Africa, with the goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting sustainable growth on the continent.
So, why's Africa? Why are they trying to gain access to this market? Why? Is it that important? Why is it so important for these two Asian giants to try to get access in Africa? Africa holds the minerals that power the digital and green economy: cobalt, lithium, platinum, and by 2050, 1 in 3 young people on Earth will live in Africa. That is a massive workforce and customers market. No wonder everyone wants in. And these two countries have different playbooks when it comes to how they're going to conduct themselves in Africa. Different playbooks. China uses loans and speed. They provide the loans. They provide the services to build your infrastructure, to build whatever you want them to build. They are very quick doing that. And you owe them. They're going to put interest over interest over interest over the loan they give you. Pretty much, they own you. That is their playbook. And you also look at Japan. Japan playbook is very different from China.
This comes as Japan hosted African leaders for the Tokyo International Conference on African Development. This conference was first held in 1993, and it focuses on Japanese support for development in Africa. Speaking at the conference, Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has pledged Japan's support for training and development across the continent.
Just as we once did in Asia, we the people of Japan wish to laugh, cry, and break a sweat alongside the people of Africa.
That is a difference right there. Why China try to give you loans and build speed to develop your infrastructure and throw all kinds of principles with our loans and make your loans huge that you unable to get under that debt, that you pretty much owe your whole economy to China. Japan is going a different route. Japan use quality over quantity. Instead of debt heavy project, they push sustainability, sustainable growth, green project, and train local workers. They have pledged $30 billion by 2025 this year. Slower than China, but aiming for a long-term growth. That's why a partner does. Japan is much more invested into the people, into the culture, into growing with the people, into education, making sure they have training, job training, and know how to do things. Not just I give you the money, I build the stuff for you, you owe me. No. Ace, we provide the money. We collab together. We provide the money. I'll train you. You learn how to do this on your own. That approach is much more welcoming, especially for most African economy and most countries in Africa. People love that. People love to do things for themselves, not just hold their hand or give them money and let them do what they want. Help them. Be involved in the development process. That's what it's all about. I'm not here to defend Japan or China. They're all in it for themselves. They're all trying to grow their own economy. But in the process of growing their own economy, at least helping those along the way goes a long way.
Experts suggest the country's recovery from 3 decades of deflation has rekindled the private sector's appetite for risk, and now they are eyeing greater access to African markets. As of yet, the US and the UK have been the main recipients of Japan's foreign direct investment, and Africa, on the other hand, has attracted only a tiny share, that is just 0.5% of Japan's total FDI to date. But now Tokyo wants to change that. Africa has caught Japan's attention for a few reasons. The continent has a rapidly expanding population, which presents a significant market opportunity, and vast deposits of natural resources. Japan is also eyeing Africa's critical minerals, base metals, and rare earths to reduce its reliance on China, which also happens to be one of Africa's top trading partners.
So, Africa have all the goods. They have all the minerals. They have everything that you need to sustain and build your economy. And these Asian countries are trying to get access to those minerals, to those natural resources. So, they're trying different paths on how to get those information. So, who wins? China, which is very fast and risky. They are fast with what to do, but the debt, on the other hand, is huge. Right now, the most indebted country in Africa right now, and most of those debt belong to China and belong to the World Bank or IMF Bank, but most of them are not loans they have taken on behalf of the country. And China is one of the most lucrative when it comes to like giving out loans. One of the most indebted countries right now, you have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, Morocco, Sudan, and Nigeria are the top 6 countries. African countries that are more debted in Africa. And it is a trend. They're going to come to you, China going to come to you, give you loans, help grow your economy, they'll stuff up pretty quick and give you a huge interest. Not interest, but more like rates. A ridiculous amount of rates on your loans. That pretty much the economy is going to be given to them. Your country pretty much owe them so much that would be so hard to pay for. So, again, who wins? Is it China, which give you loans, but it's very risky? Or is it Japan, who is very slow in doing things, but they are very sustainable? Who do you trust, pretty much? That answer will not come for anybody, but it will come from African leaders that look at those deals and see which one benefit the country in the long run. They should consider the people, because learning those skills, learning those manufacturing skills, industrial skills, help the people, help the country in the long run than just borrowing money to build the economy up. And you don't want to owe China so much. So the leaders of their country have the power to choose between China and Japan. They're going to go the most risky route, even though it's much more lucrative in terms of immediate lucrative. Things happen pretty quick. Or you want to go through the Japan route, which this will not happen that quick. People will learn along the way, and this skill is going to be with you, the country. And from that, you guys can develop your own economy. If you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this going. Thank you.